Hi folks, this is Bharath and I'm going to be talking to you about eMaester. I'm actually really glad that you're here looking for the eMaester opportunity or looking for a work from home opportunity, and I'm sure eMaester is the great deal for you. So obviously work from home is the best way to obviously work. Everybody wants to work from home. Who wants to travel at all? Okay. So what is the thing that you look forward to when you have a work from home opportunity, right? There is a certain wish list that everybody has, that it has to be working from home and that's the best environment to work with. So let us first jot down what is your wish list in terms of how do you want to work from home, right? So I'll just shortly quickly jot down those points. Let us name it as wish list, right? Well, the first is obviously work from home. Everybody wants to work from home, nobody wants to go to office, so we need something that is work from home. Second, what do you think? It has to be flexible. Yeah, you want the environment, your working environment, to be flexible. You want to work when you want to work. You don't want to work when you don't want to work. I'm sure you must be having a kid, or you're newly wedded, or you have any other family commitments, or you have other commitments that you have to, the social domestic commitments that you already have. You don't want to go to office and get yourself fixed into a place for about 8 to 9 hours. So you need a flexible timing. You don't want to be working all days, all night, and earn whatever that you get, right? So you need flexibility. What's the third? You need satisfaction. You need to love what you do, right? So I'll just write it as satisfaction. Yeah. You need to love what you do. You need to like the job that you're doing. At the same time, when I talk about satisfaction, fourth thing comes up as growth, right? You need a growth in your career as well. You don't want to do the same job again and again. You need some growth in your career. So that is growth. What else? What else? The fifth one is the most important. You need consistent income. Yeah. So you always need consistent income, right? Because you don't want to do a work from home job and not have a consistent income. So this is the wish list of everybody like you who actually want to get into the working environment. Either you want to get back into the working environment, or you want to be in a working environment which has all these three things. So work from home is the priority, right? You need work from home for sure. That which is why you're here looking for our website, trying to figure out whether eMaester is the right fit or not. I'm just going to help you in that process. So work from home. So let us first answer, what is your current opportunities for work from home, right? Let us list down what is your current opportunities to do a work from home job. To do any work from home job, you need to have a certain amount of, there are only certain niche subject where you can actually do work from home, which that doesn't actually require you to come into a certain office, or get into a certain job, go into meetings and all of that. So obviously sales and marketing and all those things are eventually out of the door, because it requires you to be present. It requires you to be at a in a certain way. You have to dress, you have to go to meetings, you have to be on calls, you have to speak to your teammates. It requires you to be at home. It doesn't require to be at home. So work from home has the following, right? I'm just going to jot down few basic things. Okay, it might, I mean, there will be more options to this, but these are basic, like something that comes to my mind directly right now. One is content, right? Any kind of content job can be written, done, taught, whatever it can be, anything related to content, or I'll probably just write education, right? Anything related to education and content can be done from home. You want to teach somebody, you can do it at home. You want to write a lot of content, you want to blog, whatever that is, it can be done from home, right? The second thing is what? Software, right? Pretty simple. Obviously, you can write software at home. You don't need to require a team, because you're going to code, you're going to write those things. You just need a computer to do so. So software is the most obvious thing that you can surely do from home. What is the third thing? Let me think. One is software, probably consulting. Consulting, strategizing, giving you ideas to companies, getting some PPTs done, anything related to support services to any management, like producing strategies or consulting and giving advices to some companies, that can be done from home again, right? So these are three things that I can come up with. Let us not make a huge list of that, so that becomes really tedious to discuss each and one. So anything related to consulting, which is why I've taken broad topics. So software is broad. You can do apps as well, you can do graphic design as well, you can do UI UX. There is a lot to do. Consulting, again, it includes advisory, it includes strategy, it includes making presentations and all of that. That's consulting. Content, obviously, you need to know what to do. So these are three options that you can come up with. But these two, if you see these two options, it requires a certain amount of skills and certain amount of expertise, which majority of us won't have unless we acquire them through some other technique. And it also requires a lot of experience. For you to consult, you need a lot of experience to do so. So consulting is gone out of the door for sure, because I mean anybody who has more than 20-25 years of experience not looking at the video for me, right? So this is gone for sure. Software is again very niche. Somebody already knows what to do. So again, this also doesn't play a part in you seeing this video for a right job for you. So what remains is content and education, which is why we are here, which is what I'm here to talk about. So content and education is something that you can surely do, and which is where we can help you do so as well. Something that is flexible, something that is satisfactory, something that you have a growth in, something where you have consistent income. Okay. Now let us get back to what eMaester is supposed to do. Okay. So eMaester is probably what I'm trying to convince you is that eMaester is going to solve all these problems for you. eMaester is going to be working from home. It's going to be flexible hours. It's going to give you a highly satisfactory job, because you're going to be changing a lot of lives, right? You're going to be changing a lot of people's life. It's going to give you growth. Obviously, you do well in a job, you grow in the system, and it is consistent income. This is the most important thing, right? It will give you consistent income. If you go to any other freelance job in the industry, you can probably check that out. You can just open another tab and see google.com, and you can probably see any consulting or software or content, any freelance job that you do will not give you consistent income, because once the project is done, you're done. And it is very difficult for you to get another project and keep getting project over a period of, for a lifetime, if you want to do work from home for a life. So freelancing work is the only thing, obviously it is satisfactory. One thing you don't get is growth. You won't get growth in freelancing. You also won't get a consistent income in freelancing. 1 month you'll earn a lot, 1 month you won't earn a lot. Depends on, whether there are projects and whether they choose you. Did you bid well? There's a lot of nitty-gritties in that, and it's a rough game to play, because a lot of people already are playing that. So what we intend to do is we intend to give you consistent income over a period of a life. Okay, there is no stopping there. You can keep going on and on. Doesn't matter where you're staying, doesn't matter where you are, doesn't matter what you know, because you're going to get trained for it. Because remember, I told you in the first itself, for you to do any job professionally, where you want this wish list to be fulfilled, you have to acquire the skills that you already don't have, right? Currently, you're seeing this video with me and you're in the eMaester website is only because if you already had certain amount of skills, and it's completely okay, right? You need to have certain amount of expertise and skills for you to grow in the system, for you to grow in the career. And for acquiring skills, one thing is for sure is that you have to spend time and resources to do so. Because without that, obviously nobody can acquire skills, and without that, skills are not skills, right? So this is the way you need to actually think about how eMaester is going to help you. So let me just quickly tell you what eMaester is. So eMaester is going to be into IELTS teaching. Okay, it is completely IELTS. IELTS translates to about 5+ million people giving that every year. So it's a huge market, a huge scope of people who do IELTS exam every year. So what you go through is you go through 6 weeks of training. 6 weeks of IELTS training, where you learn rigorously about what IELTS is, how do you succeed being an online mentor. Once you finish this, you get certified. You get certified as an eMaester with us. It's a private certification, has a great scope because you're an IELTS trainer. Check that out again. We go to ask anybody of how big a scope is IELTS mentor. It's huge. So you get certified, and then you start getting consistent students that you train on. Right? You can start training immediately once you finish the certification with us and start earning a handsome amount every month. Okay? So this is what actually eMaester does. Why we require eMaester is because eMaester is a product that is governed by Favor EduTech. So we are a company which has a certain USP. What is our USP? Is that USP is that we show a lot of videos to all of our students. So we teach through videos. Like I'm shooting a video in front of you. So we make a lot of videos and shoot that so that every student can see it. And we democratize it so that a great teacher can be put to teach, so that the whole world can see it then. It's not restricted to that particular classroom which is already there. So we democratize it so you get the best of the faculty in the world to shoot our videos. Second thing is one-on-one training, right? So every student also gets a personal mentor. He gets a personal teacher, somebody who's going to talk to him on a very regular basis, frequently, to solve his doubts, to make sure that his learning is different from others, and also make sure that his learning has its own learning curve. So this personal mentor is the one which makes the whole program or makes the whole company really reliable, and also makes the whole world a better place to live in, because everybody wants to learn with a personal teacher, because I can learn at my own pace. I can learn at a better skill level, right? Because my mentor is going to be mentoring me alone. It's one-on-one. So what eMaester does is, eMaester is a program which enables you to be one such mentor to hundreds and thousands of students that we are currently anyway training. So you can be one such mentor that we'll intend to do, so that our pedagogy fits in, and we really want you to be the great mentor that we have, because the student is not going to know who I am. They're going to know who the eMaester is, because you're going to be teaching the student directly. So you're going to carry the brand on your own shoulders. Hence the 6 weeks of training, hence the certification, and hence we want to give you a better opportunity in terms of your wish list. Because we don't want to screw up on the program, because you're going to be, as I said, you're going to be taking the brand in your shoulders. So which is why the training is really important. You want to acquire the skill. It is really helpful. The training will eventually get you a certification, and the certification will be more of a value than you ever think. So this is how the pedagogy is, and which is why eMaester is linked to this. Now, what is our current stats? Just to give you a rough example. So where are we currently? We started this in 2014 with about 50 mentors at start. So we are currently with 500 plus mentors. When I say mentors, they are eMaesters. We have 500 plus eMaesters catering to about 20,000 students, right? If you just do a rough calculation, it's about 200,000 hours of mentoring that has already been done. That translates to about 8,000 hours of mentoring that is happening on an everyday basis. As we speak right now, there is some teacher teaching to some students, or there are many teachers teaching to many students, if I have to put that right? So these are the number of eMaesters, and these are the number of students that we are catering to currently. So this is our current stats. So where do we plan to go in the next few years? We plan to make this 500 to about 2,000 in the next 1 year, so as to cater about 100,000 students, and that is where we are going to intend to do. So we have about at least 100. If you just do a rough calculation, there are about 80 to 100 eMaesters that we are looking to enroll on an every month basis. So there are only two criteria why I would eventually get in touch with you. Is one, I want to see passion for teaching, a passion to work from home. And second, I would also want you to have a decent communication skill, so as obviously teaching IELTS is an English proficiency exam. So your English skill should be good enough so that you can be trained and we can polish you so that you get certified to do so. All right. So finally, let me talk about the deal, and the deal is very simple. Right? What is the deal? The deal is that the eMaester program costs at 35K. Okay, this is the cost of the program. It's 35K, and what you get in return is that you get consistent income for a lifetime. Right? You get a consistent income for a lifetime. It's not 1 or 2 years of contract we're talking about. We're talking about a lifetime of consistent income, and the income can be ranging from 10K to 30K depending on how many hours you put in. Right? We want you to put in as many hours as possible, but obviously taking into account your contingencies and taking into account the flexibility that we want to give, we leave that to you. But 10 to 30,000 rupees is something that I can give a broad range about. What I'm talking about is you're going to be earning the per hour rate is at 150, right? You start at 150, and obviously you keep growing as and when the student feedback comes good. There are a lot of students loving your job, loving to take your lectures, so you come back. So that is how you get growth as well. So you grow in the system, adding more responsibilities, taking a team of eMaesters under you, which will all happen over a period of time, and that is how we intend to grow. There is a certain hierarchy that you grow in the system. So your per hour rate is 150, so you earn about 10 to 30K a month. Take a rough calculation, say I take an average that you earn 15K a month. Is the average is 15K a month. Even if you do so in 6 months, how much do you earn? In 6 months, you'll probably earn 90K. Into 6 is 90. So 90K is about 3 times what you actually spent doing the whole program, getting yourself certificate. So your expenditure in terms of, if I'm talking into business, your expenditure that you have to consider is 35K plus 6 weeks. Your 6 weeks is your time commitment, 35K is what you give as in terms of money, and what you earn back is 90K over a period of 6 months. That is 300% ROI, return on investment. That is a 300% ROI. And this I can guarantee that it is none in any other education institute in the world. Go to Harvard, go to Stanford, go to your engineering, see what your graduation that you did. You would have spent X amount of money and what kind of job that you landed up after your engineering. Currently, every engineer probably spends about 5 lakh rupees in his only tuition fee and never gets a 5 lakh rupee job. Even if he does, he'll probably make the 5 lakhs in a year's time. That's how the calculation is. So no other education system gives this kind of ROI system, and it's all foolproof, and it's all given in a contract that your wish list is also being satisfied. You get consistent income. We're going to be giving you students. All that is written in the contract, so it's foolproof. You don't have to worry about anything. All that we require you to do is to get in touch with us, see the program in detail, get your wish list planned and succeeded. And I would like to really get in touch with you. I'm really looking forward to work with you as well. So let us get going and transform your life for the better.